I feel like it's fair to start with the defending NFC West champions, the San Francisco 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
They obviously went to the NFC Championship last year. They were one of the two teams in the NFC that everybody said they're obviously cream of the crop, and they proved they were. Uh, Went through a lot of quarterback changes last year, landed on Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, and he went 7-0 to start until he got hurt in the NFC Championship. Was pretty much lighting up every team not named the Dallas Cowboys. Was averaging 30 points a game, I'm pretty sure. Just won 2 playoff games. Really, really nice outing for him. But going into this season, it feels a little different. Brock Purdy had to get elbow surgery, I think. So we'll see how his arm stands up. Trey Lance, that quarterback that you remember that guy,
crazy,
right?
Yo. They drafted up to get this dude, and now they're like, I don't know, Brock Purdy.
Yeah, what's Trey Lance gonna be? He's coming off of a crazy injury from last year, and now he seems to just be buried on their depth chart. They brought in Sam Darnold, so good team. Have always had a really good team. That nucleus is getting a little older. George Kittle a little older. Trent Williams a little older.
Players.
Debo Samuel's a little older. Still all amazing players. Nick Bosa, he's not older. He's just awesome. Fred Warner, not older. He's just awesome. They got, wall-to-wall talent, yada, yada, yada. It's been said and been talked about for several years now, but this quarterback situation continues to be a problem for the 49ers. And I really, it feels like they got away with it last year. Like they had a ton of quarterback issues last year.
Well, because this year,
that's what I'm wondering. I'm like, at some point, it's got to, right? Like maybe not. Maybe you say, well, in the NFC, no. If you're in the AFC, yeah, because you're going to be playing the top of the top quarterbacks. Having a great defense isn't going to be enough. They're just going to light up that defense. You got to come with something a little more than just that. In the NFC, though, maybe you can make the argument that they're able to still be as dominant as they were last year and the year before. This team has been to the NFC Championship, 3 out of the last 4 years? They've been the mainstay in the conference, and quarterback or not, I wonder if they continue to do that. I don't know. What do you got, Christian? Where do you think they land this year?
I say they continue. I say they keep trucking along. I got them going 12-5 last year. I think they went. Where did they go last year? Oh, I didn't switch.
I think they went 13-4 last year.
13-4, so a step down. Yeah, 13-4, so a step down at least. So they lose one more game, but I still think they're gonna be pretty good. They're gonna be able to run the ball. Christian McCaffrey, Debo, Brandon Ayuk's really come along. I think George Kittle is very good. Like they got offensive pieces. So I mean, if it's Trey Lance, if it's Brock Purdy, or God forbid if it's Sam Darnold, I think it can still maybe work with that defense. Kyle Shanahan. I think he can call a hell of a game. I think he can call a hell of an offensive game. So, this division is competitive. I'll give it that, but it's kind of like the Chiefs in the AFC West. It's like, yeah, like they can get challenged a little bit, but I still think it's the 49ers, division to lose. And the Cardinals got a lot worse. I think the Seahawks did get a little better, especially adding Jackson Smith and Jigba. So I think offensively they got better. So, that's going to be exciting to see how those teams play out. I mean, it's 49ers Seahawks. That rivalry has been, great these past
decade, really.
Yeah, decade. So
dating back to the Legion of Boom.
Yeah, so I think they're going to still be, pretty solid. They're going to be running the ball. We're probably going to see a lot of faces in that backfield, but that's what's gonna happen. I still think Debo is still. I'll say Debo's a little underrated, and I think Brandon Ayuk is a very good receiver. Defensively, they were kind of pretty defensive heavy. Pretty defensive heavy kind of in the draft there. They brought in some defensive guys to help because they let quite a bit of people go. that defense could take a step back. Actually, I don't know. I think it still has the talent there, and you would think, I think John Lynch has been an excellent GM, so I think they probably got the right guy in there for it. But that could be an issue.
Hmm.
But I mean, that defense is still very talented, like you said. Fred Warner, Nick Bosa. They got this safe. They drafted a safety of their third in the third round. I'm hoping he's pretty good. So we'll see. They brought in some corners and safeties, a safety, sorry, and free agency. So I think they should still be pretty solid back there. Secondary could be a little issue. That has been a kind of an issue they have been trying to fix. But no, I still believe in 49ers.
So for me, I have them winning the division as well. I have all the other teams. I mean, the Rams can't really take a step back, but we'll talk about the Seahawks in a little bit. But for me, I don't think the 49ers are concerned about the division, right? Like, they're not trying to win the NFC West. They are
Yeah, they're trying
trying
to
to
get to the
get
Super Bowl.
over this hump that they have been in. 3 out of 4 times they've been to the NFC Championship, but only one of those trips has resulted in a Super Bowl, and it was a loss.
Hmm.
So I do think, though, the 49ers, as we've seen, they tend to go through this period of massive injuries at the beginning of the year for whatever reason. And then their team comes back and it's healthy. And when you get into the back half, that's really the type of play that complements what the 49ers do right. The 49ers love to run the ball, move the ball around, get it everywhere, play smash
Put
mouth.
Trent Williams in motion.
Yeah. Let, let that defense just go bull rush you with that great pass rush. Um, and I think this year, more than previous years, even, there's reason to think they might get off to a slower start, right? I mean, they play the Steelers, they play the Browns, they play the
I
Cowboys,
got
they
them
play the
going 5-0.
Bengals. I mean, and like there are some wins, right? Like the Cardinals are there, the Rams, the Giants. Like they could, and again, like they could even beat the Cowboys. They've had the Cowboys number in the playoffs now, so I mean that's a possibility. But I
I
just
do say they
I
lose to the Browns. I say the Browns come in and beat them. Or do they go over
yeah,
to the Browns and lose?
I really think that beginning of the season when they're trying to figure out what's our quarterback situation look like,
Mhm.
who's going to be our guy, that could be really messy if Brock Purdy's not 100% or Trey Lance just ain't that guy or Sam Darnold, is who we've seen Sam Darnold be for a lot of his career, just kind of up and down, not really able to win consistently. That could be really tough for the 49ers. And I wouldn't be surprised if they lose a couple games at the beginning of the year that we go, wow, I thought they might win that game. I have them going 10-7. I think 10-7 is a pretty realistic record for them. I I'd like to think by the end of the year they'll have their quarterback situation figured out at least well enough to continue this year. Maybe Brock Purdy is that guy, and he's able to just keep running that system at this super high clip. But at the beginning of the season, yeah, I'm really worried. As far as it's so tough to talk about this team's ceiling, I think, because like
It's
ideally
Super
you're like,
Bowl or
well,
bust with
Super
this
Bowl or
team.
bust,
It's
right? But
Super
it's like,
Bowl or
but they
bust.
don't have a quarterback. like, what? How often is it that we're talking about a team that has no quarterback that we're like Super Bowl or bust though? Like Super Bowl or bust. Like that's what you got to do. And
Jimmy G threw 7 passes in an NFC Championship game. That's
yeah,
something they did because they were just whooping the shit out of the Packers.
yeah,
It's
and
the
I mean,
NFC. You
there
you get a lot of you get this is the pre Caleb Williams. So like
and this is I mean, if we're thinking, and I don't like to think about it in terms of last year just because it gets weird, but like 49ers or Saints, I'm probably leaning 49ers. 49ers or Cowboys. The 49ers have beaten the Cowboys 2 years in a row in the playoffs. So like, and they did it once with a rookie quarterback. So I feel like what is it, 49ers and Eagles? Well, they're going to play the Eagles in Philadelphia this year. So we're going to get a sense of really, if those are the two teams again, we're going to get a sense of where they both are.
they play Jacksonville.
They play
This
Seattle twice, the
they play
Bengals.
Cincy, and they get Cincy at home. Uh,
Yeah. But the Bengals are
they play
coming
the
off a bye.
Ravens. So like they got some good games. And I got them losing
Yeah.
some of those like big tough games. So like don't think I'm just being a
And
homer out here.
no, I mean you're 12-5. Like that's losses. I think 10-7 is somewhere in that range. Maybe they get 11 wins. Like I think it's reasonable for them to do that. Um, that a couple years back, they were they had a losing record, I think, midway through the season, and they turned it on and went, that 8 game win streak, made it to the NFC Championship. Last year, they were like 3-4, and they didn't lose again. They won 10 straight to end the season. So like, we'll see how it goes. I think this could be a little bit of a tougher season for them, having a number one, having a first place schedule, having those quarterback questions. I think the wins and losses might look a little different for them. I don't think they're going to get the number one seed, but I do see them still winning this division.
Bet, bet, bet.